Hola amigos y amigas, you are now with Jocelyn, and as always, como siempre, I'm so grateful that you are here and so grateful that you are investing yourself in this way to open up to receive divine guidance. And I'm so grateful to be receiving and relaying these messages to you. I set the intention that those who are meant to receive these messages align to this video. I set the intention that the messages received from this reading is for the greater good of all, is for the deeper understanding and higher conscious awareness for all. And again, I thank you all so much for being here. If you are a returning subscriber, welcome back. If you are new here, welcome as well. If you enjoyed lifestyle, spirituality, self-development, journaling, and all of that good stuff, make sure to click subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my weekly videos. This is our weekly energy reading, again, to gain a deeper understanding and higher conscious awareness of the overall energy for this upcoming week and how we can navigate it as our higher selves. So this upcoming week, we do have a Pisces New Moon taking place on March 2nd. We are stepping into a new month as well. So there's a lot of newness taking place. I'm really loving the placement of our new moons and full moons this year. The new moons are just so close to the beginning of the month. I've actually never really observed if it's always that way. It really wasn't until I started doing these readings and I started doing the new and full moon journaling prompts that I really started aligning myself more intimately and holding greater space for the moon and my relationship with the moon and really deepening that. And it's been so beautiful for me to align myself to her cyclical nature that exists within all of us. So I'm excited to tap into that energy. We're definitely going to get to know this Pisces new moon through this reading and what the energy coming into March is going to look like, is going to feel like. So without further ado, let's get into this. I have my tea. It's really hot right now. And if you would like to go ahead and make yourself comfortable, make yourself some tea, cleanse yourself, cleanse your space to really open yourself up to receive, go ahead and do that. I've already cleansed myself, cleansed my space, cleansed the decks, and called in the divine to use me as a vessel and as a voice. So let's begin. The lighting of the incense always marks the beginning for me, and it's very helpful as a timer as well. So we already got some messages here for us in regards to this upcoming week. Let's see if there's anything else for this overall energy for this upcoming week, for the energy of the Pisces new moon. Are there any other messages that we are meant to be aware of at this time? For those that are tuning in, what is it that we are meant to awaken to, that we're meant to tap into, to embody, and just understand in regards to the overall energy for this upcoming week with the new month of March. Whoa. Definitely not going to be reading the whole deck. Okay, are there any other messages? There's quite a few here in regards to the overall energy. Is there one more? Is there anything else? Okay. There may be more, but I'm going to stop it here because there's plenty to get into already. So, all right, y'all. We've got the Medicine Mother to honor your inner knowing, and I feel like this card came up last week as well. I could be wrong. Y'all let me know. But we've got the Medicine Mother to honor your inner knowing, and it's just, again, an affirmation, a gentle reminder, an encouragement, time and time again for us to really, really understand the importance of us honoring our inner knowing and us holding space for us to come into really understanding what our inner knowing even is. And so if you haven't developed some kind of spiritual practice or spiritual foundation that allows you to really tap into what your inner knowing is. And what that looks like looks different for all of us. For me, it looks like waking up early to really witness the sun rising and practicing breath work and tuning into meditation and stretching and doing yoga, like all of these things that really help me tune into myself and my body and allow me to really feel and come into my senses and come into the present moment. That is where I am really coming to understand my inner knowing, and I am creating that kind of strong foundation for my days as I practice that early in the day. So I highly encourage you, the divine highly encourages you to create a practice for yourself that allows you to first and foremost understand what your inner knowing is and continue practicing it with the intention to honor your inner knowing. And when you do have an understanding of what your inner knowing is, even if it's just an inkling, like just a slight gut feeling of a direction you're meant to go, a decision you're meant to make, honor that, right? Practice really honoring yourself and your intuition and the inner guidance that exists within you. We also got the arrow to surround yourself with protective energy, which is very interesting. I feel like right now is a time for us to really be protecting our own energy and protecting our energetic field and practicing energetic hygiene. And it's gonna be hard for us to understand what our inner knowing is and what our intuition is saying when we are when our energetic field is absorbing and is polluted with the energy of so many external influences. So protect your energy and come to understand your inner knowing by practicing energetic hygiene. And that also just looks different for all of us, but meditation does help with that because it grounds you to the present moment and to yourself. Exercise helps with that because it allows the energy, the stagnant energy within you, to be circulated and released. Smudging, so using herbal smudges, bundles, taking baths, like really using the elements of water, earth, fire, air to assist in the energetic fields, in releasing them, cleansing them, grounding them, and speaking intention over them is what really gives them power as well, and understanding like what it is doing for you. All of these things that we can do for ourselves is what the divine is encouraging us to do, because right now we're in a time where external circumstances and influences can really take a hold of us and uncenter us and distract us. So surround yourself with protective energy, and whenever it is that you feel unsafe in any way, shape, or form, listen to that inkling, right, and create that safe space for yourself. We also got the water guardian, connect with your emotions. We've got this Pisces New Moon, right? We've got new energy coming up, and I feel like, as I was studying and really tuning into the Pisces New Moon to create our journaling prompts, which I'm going to be releasing very soon, something that came up is that the Pisces New Moon is the energy of just completion, right? Coming into this new cycle that is really taking place, especially as we are approaching spring. And spring in and of itself is Mother Nature letting us know that there is this new cycle coming in, there is this new season, there is this new life that is springing from beneath the surface, and we're kind of sensing that at this time. All that to say is that I feel like what we're being divinely encouraged and guided towards is us just really tuning inwards and understanding what cycles exactly are completing so that we may fully release them and understand just how they impacted us. Understand what it is that we are carrying forward with us in this new journey, in this new cycle, what it is that we're leaving behind and not carrying with us that we understand no longer serves us, and understand what kind of new cycle it is that we're intending to step into, right? What kind of direction we are intentionally moving towards. And it's important for us to connect with our emotions. It is incredibly important for us to connect with our emotions. And I believe Pisces is a water sign. And so obviously the energy of water, which is connected to our emotions, is going to arise. So you may find yourself feeling a little extra emotional this upcoming week, and that's one reason why it is important for you to be protecting yourself, especially during these like kind of vulnerable states of being emotional and being in a state of transformation and kind of coming into a new beginning. Your cocoon and the shedding of your skin is a vulnerable state, right? So you want to make sure that you are protecting yourself, you are honoring yourself, and you are listening to what it is that your needs are. We also got mountains to stand your ground. So I'm sensing, again, this is a very like protective energy of you like standing your ground. So I find it very interesting that we are being called to be protecting ourselves in kind of many different ways, shapes, and forms. I'm not fully understanding why exactly. I do, again, feel like it partly has to do with, you know, external events that are taking place within our communities, within our own environments, within the world that we live in. It's important for us to remain grounded and for us to stand our ground and for us to really be centered in our knowing, in our truth, and not allow anything to be swaying us into a distraction, out of alignment. I'm curious to look even further into the arrow card just to really kind of see what's up in regards to this protective energy that we're being called to tap into. If you are in a situation where you feel that not everything is as clear as it seems, trust your intuition. There are energies in your current situation that aren't fully aligned with your intentions and goals or with kindness. Follow your intuition about whom to trust and what to trust. If you can take time to retreat or step out of the situation to assess what is going to be beneficial for you, do so. In any event, this is a time to call in the energy of protection and place yourself in a space that feels safe. Again, what's really coming out for me is just like trusting your intuition, right? That is a theme that is consistently coming up for us in these weekly energy readings. And I feel like this can either be a very specific message for some of you who do feel like you are finding yourself in unsafe situations or relationships or environments. But what's most important to take out of this is for us to just simply be mindful of what energies are and are not in alignment with our intentions and our goals, or just with kindness overall. And again, it's this theme of this energy of completion that we are approaching with this Pisces new moon, where we are in that state of closing out cycles and coming into new cycles, closing out certain lessons that we have really learned and we have really been practicing integrating and affirming that we're going to be coming into new lessons. And so it's just important for us to be, again, protecting ourselves in kind of these vulnerable states of transition and transformation, and being very mindful of, as we are transitioning, as we are closing out cycles, as we are coming into new cycles, that we are making sure that what it is that we are coming into is in alignment with our intentions, is in alignment with our goals, is in alignment with our intuition and our inner knowing. So may we practice mindfulness this week. We also got the Peacekeeper, to let go of the need to be right. This can be a very specific message to some of you who may feel like you may be stuck in your ways. Perhaps some of you need to practice kind of shifting your perspective. We talk about this often here on my channel. It's just the power in shifting your perspective, and how sometimes it just takes one shift in perspective to change your whole life and how it is that you are experiencing your life. So what can bring in more peace for you, right? And how can you embody the energy of the Peacekeeper, where peace is the top priority, right? And truly, if peace is your top priority, you will not allow anything or anyone to disturb that peace. And there is a way, it is possible to live this life where you are so grounded in your peace that nothing outside of you can disturb that peace within you. So let's just be mindful of that, and let's be mindful of keeping the peace, of being peacekeepers, and how we can embody that energy of being a peacekeeper, a peace cultivator, a peace knower, a peace embodier, right? We've got the Spirit Fox, lastly but not leastly, to trust your talents in changing times. And so I feel like that's also just, trusting your inner knowing, again, honoring your inner knowing as we are in these states of transformation and transition. Trust that in you trusting your talents, in you trusting your intuition, in you trusting your passions, you trusting what it is that you're feeling intuitively called to do and to be, even though it may come with some uncertainties because you are in this state of evolution and you don't have all the answers and you don't know exactly how everything is going to work out or how everything is going to come to manifest, which no one ever does, right? No one ever knows exactly how everything is going to play out or when everything is going to play out. Choose to continue to trust, even in these changing times, even in these transitional and transformational states. Trust yourself. It's very important for us to be healing our ability to trust ourselves and to be strengthening that and to really be grounding ourselves in that. Because if we don't trust ourselves, that impacts our whole life and everything that we do, and the kinds of relationships and opportunities that we are attracting. So it's very important for us to be trusting ourselves. And in times of uncertainty, that can be our greatest practice. That can be our greatest practice for us to be trusting ourselves at a time where it can be very hard to. Should any challenges or obstacles arise this upcoming week under this Pisces New Moon? I don't know why my mind wants to say like full moon. Under this Pisces New Moon and into this new month, what energies do you align to? Should any challenges or obstacles arise? May they be physical, energetic, relational, professional, personal, mental, physical, spiritual. What energies do we align to? Do we awaken to? Do we embody? Should any challenges or obstacles arise? Are there any other messages? Guardians of the four corners, Mother in the earth, Father in the sky, Most High, sacred ones, angels, living ancestors. Should any challenges or obstacles arise this upcoming week, what energies do we align with? What energies do we align with? Are there any other messages? We got two here. Okay. We got one that jumped out. Okay. So should any challenges or obstacles arise this upcoming week, and again, something to keep in mind, because we are coming into a new month this week, this could also be entailing, and these messages in this reading could also just be letting us know the overall energy for the month of March. So just something to keep in mind. But should any challenges or obstacles arise this upcoming week, this upcoming month, under this Pisces New Moon, let's focus on success, right? Focus on success. And really what's coming up for me is, sometimes when obstacles or challenges arise, we can just get so consumed and just overly fixated on the challenge, on the obstacle, that we are forgetting the light that exists in our lives, that exists in the situation. And not only the potential for success that can arise from this challenge, from this obstacle, from this situation, but we also tend to just dismiss all the successes that we've experienced, all the times that we have faced challenges and obstacles and have overcome them, have grown through them, and have come out of them having ascended into a higher vibrational state. And so just tune into, the successes that you've experienced. Tune into just like really gently reminding yourself of all the times that you have successfully overcome, that you have successfully grown through an experience that was difficult. And seek the opportunities for success that are available to you in the challenge, in the obstacle, right? And I think also under this Pisces New Moon, it's important for us to define success. Like, what do you define success to be, to look like, to feel like, to smell like, sound like, taste like? I think that's one of the prompts that I actually am going to be sharing with you all for this Pisces New Moon. But the theme of success is going to be arising for us, especially because we are, experiencing this energy of completion and coming into this new cycle. We're going to be thinking of success and redefining that for ourselves as this new version of ourselves in this new cycle of ourselves. What do you define as success, right? And check in with yourself to see if you need to redefine that, if anything has changed with how it is that you do define that. We also got taking risks, right? This is an encouragement for us to be taking risks at this time. And sometimes honoring our inner knowing, honoring ourselves, honoring our intuition can feel risky, right? A lot of the times, like in these seasons that we're in, that I've been describing throughout this reading so far, about, trusting your talents in changing times and trusting yourself and building that relationship with yourself, especially in these seasons that can be hard to do so, to really take a leap into the unknown and trust that everything's going to be okay. And sometimes even just us feeling our feelings and connecting with our emotions can feel risky. So many things can feel risky for us. And so taking risks is an encouragement, not only for us to take leaps, professionally, but also take leaps and take risks emotionally and relationally and energetically and cyclically, and all of these different ways that risk taking can show up and express itself in our lives. Just know that when you are intentionally taking a risk, and when a risk is deeply rooted in your intuition, in your passion, in the fulfillment of your soul purpose, in your authenticity, you are always divinely supported and guided in that. You're always divinely supported in that. So again, it's just this continued theme of trusting ourselves, that we can take these risks and that it's worth taking these risks, and that everything is going to work out upon taking these risks, and that there is the potential, right? A risk can come up as a challenge, as an obstacle, but seeing the potential for success in that risk is what we were just getting at, right? So there is the potential for things to turn out greater than we can even currently imagine upon taking risks and making sacrifices. So that's just something to keep in mind, especially as we're going to be setting our intentions under this Pisces new moon. Take risks. Take risks, intentional risks, purposeful risks. We also got inner peace. Again, this is coming back to the peacekeeper, right? Should any challenges or obstacles arise, again, prioritize your peace. Embody the peacekeeper. Make peace such a priority, top priority for you, that you won't allow anything outside of you to disturb that peace that exists within you. You are so grounded in your peace that nothing can shake you from that. Nothing can bring you out of that centeredness. What do we focus on healing this upcoming week? What do we focus on healing this upcoming week as we step into the month of March? What do we focus on healing under this Pisces new moon as we are stepping into a new lunar cycle? What do we focus on healing this upcoming week? And as we're setting our new moon intentions, what do we focus on healing? What do we focus on healing? What do we focus on healing? Is there anything else? Is there anything else? What do we focus on healing? Okay. So let's go in order here. The first one that we got is grounding, for us to be grounding ourselves. And again, this just goes back to us developing a spiritual foundation of which to arise from, to build from, to step into new beginnings from, right? The spiritual foundation that I was talking about, really implementing and integrating and practicing on a daily basis to come into your inner knowing and understand it and honor it. Be grounded in that, right? It's so important for us to be grounding ourselves, because sometimes even when we are coming into our spiritual awakenings, we can get so kind of up there and up in our minds that we need to ground ourselves back. We need to ground ourselves into the present moment. We need to ground ourselves into our human experience, right? Because the spiritual experience can be very kind of uplifting, and that's a very beautiful thing. But at the end of the day, we are humans and we are experiencing a human experience. So we have to find that balance of being up here, but also being down here with Mother Earth, right? But aside from that, it's also just being grounded, again, in our inner peace. Being so grounded, so centered in our peace that, again, nothing can disturb that. And I think this also just contributes to us, surrounding ourselves and really creating this safe space for ourselves. And also, the encouragement of kind of embodying a mountain and standing your ground. Mountains have a very grounded energy because it's very like this really mountainous, I guess is the adjective I want to use for a mountain, just mountainous earth energy of being grounded, being very just standing your ground. I do want to look at the mountains card. I want to look into it. I'm feeling called to look into it now as we have this grounding card as an encouragement of what's going to assist us in our healing. Let's see. Mountain. Where art thou? Where art thou? Why can't I find it? Okay. Mountain energy is powerful because it's firmly rooted in the Great Mother and reaches high to the Great Father, right? That's what I was saying. It's kind of like, Father in the sky is like this, like very like up there, kind of like that can either be expressed as like just kind of like being very like in the spiritual realm, or it can also be expressed or translated as just being kind of like all up in your head, right? And that's why sometimes like people can say like, oh, you're so airheaded, because you're kind of like just so in your head, or just kind of like out of it in a way. That's kind of like the same kind of concept, which is kind of like being too high up in the clouds, needing to ground yourself back into Mother Earth. So many ways that this can be expressed. It just depends on how you resonate with it. If you're feeling challenged or pressured at this time, know that your spirit is more powerful than you think. You are resilient and grounded, and the energy and air of the mountains is giving you the unshakable strength to be who you are. Take the time to root yourself deeply in the energy of the earth before welcoming in the energies of the heaven. If you're not sure what you need to do next, the mountain card invites you to stay exactly where you are. Talk things over with those around you and know that change will come to you. You will be whole and well at the end of this current situation, and it will not stand in the way of your future growth and expansion. I feel called to reread that last sentence again. You will be whole and well at the end of this current situation, and it will not stand in the way of your future growth and expansion. If any of you are feeling like you're kind of like in a kind of stagnant state in any way, shape, or form, or like things are just kind of moving very slowly, just know that all is happening in divine timing, and that what you're experiencing right now is not going to get in the way of your future growth and expansion, right? Yes. So that's kind of a whole other message that's kind of arising from this reading for those of you who may be feeling like you are being challenged or pressured at this time. Again, it's just that reminder of honoring your inner knowing, and part of our inner knowing is just knowing and understanding just how powerful and capable we are. And that's something that's been coming up for me a lot too, is for us to like really be reminding ourselves of just how powerful, how purposeful, how capable we are, and grounding ourselves in that knowing, right? So grounding energy, spending time with Mother Earth, really grounding ourselves is very important at this time. Is going to be very, very healing. Very healing. We also got ancient wisdom. For those of you who are, all of you who are listening to this and who are tuning into energy readings, I feel like are on a spiritual path in some way, shape, or form. So just invest in learning more about any kind of ancient wisdom that calls to you, whether that's, going out in nature and that's really calling to you, and learning from the trees and the plants and the flowers and the ground and the dirt and the wisdom that exists in all of Mother Nature. If that's calling to you, tune into that ancient wisdom. If you have been finding yourself very curious about some other kind of, spiritual practice like yoga or meditation or breath work or reading cards or whatever the case may be, there's just so many healing modalities, spiritual teachings that we can tap into. Whatever it is that is calling to you, lean into that, lean into the curiosities and expand your ancient wisdom, right? There's so much wisdom for us to gain in ancient practices, in ancient knowledge. So lean into that. That's going to be very, very healing for you. You never know where the, curiosities are going to lead you and how it's going to assist you in your ascension. We also got slow but steady, and I feel like that kind of goes back to what I just read from the booklet about the mountain card of standing your ground and acknowledging that, even if things may be feeling like things are kind of going at a slower pace, progress is progress, right? It's whatever you're experiencing right now is not going to be impeding, is not stagnating, is not blocking your future growth and expansion. All that you are experiencing at this time is happening for a reason, a divine reason. And it's really on us to come to understand and really know what that divine reason is. And it starts with our willingness to understand what that is, to open ourselves up to learning the lessons and seeing challenges and obstacles as opportunities to grow and to experience success in new ways, right? So that's why it's partly important for us to be redefining success, right? But slow but steady is very, very healing for us at this time. Be steady, take things slowly, stay consistent, and accept and allow the slower pace of whatever it is that a slow pace resonates for you, whether it's a slow pace in your professional life, a slow pace in a certain relationship, a slow pace in your spiritual practice, whatever's coming up. Ooh, my left ear is ringing very, very loud. That is like the highest pitch I think I've ever experienced. Ooh. Whoa, okay. So yes, slow but steady, my friends. I'm going to take that as an affirmation that what I'm saying in this message is what I'm meant to be saying. But yes, slow progress is still progress, and don't underestimate the power of going at a slower pace and remaining steady in that pace. As long as you are remaining steady, as long as you are remaining consistent, you're still experiencing growth, right? Stagnancy and blockages really only happen when you aren't learning, right? When you aren't I feel like stagnancy and blockages really, really only take place when we are giving into fear. As long as you are practicing coming out of fear, because fear is so deeply integrated in us through societal and cultural programmings, it's going to take a while for us to really. I think also fear can be somewhat, part of just the natural human experience, but as long as we are giving into fear, that is when we are experiencing the stagnancy that we are fearing, right? So many times, because things aren't going the way that we planned or how we thought, or slower than we wished, we start giving into the fear that we're missing out, or giving into the fear that we're being held back from our growth or our expansion. And that is what we're being encouraged to step out of, that kind of thinking. So again, shifting that perspective and honoring the slow but steady pace. Slow but steady is very, very healing for us at this time. Honor it as such. Honor your slow and steady pace as a healer in your life. We also got death, and I feel like this is just, a confirmation that deaths are taking place as we're stepping into, a new cycle, a new month. In order for newness to take place, in order for new life to be birthed, death has to take place, endings have to take place, and that's just the natural divine order of all life and all things. So we must honor death also as a healer, because it is through death that we experience new life. It is through endings that we experience new beginnings. And it is slowly but surely, our relationship with death and endings are slowly but steadily shifting, right? We're beginning to really understand just how powerful and how important and how significant death and endings are, and just how worthy they are to be honored as great teachers in our lives. Let's look at what it is that we're called to surrender this upcoming week. What are we called to surrender this upcoming week? What are we called to surrender this upcoming week? What are we called to surrender this upcoming week? Under this Pisces New Moon, what are we called to surrender this upcoming week? What are we called to surrender this upcoming week? What are we called to surrender this upcoming week? What are we called to surrender this upcoming week? Under this Pisces New Moon, as we're stepping into a new month, are there any other messages? Anything else? Going once, going twice. Okay. We've got surrender resentments. I feel like we got this one recently. Holding on to resentments only poisons you. Try to forgive others for their shortcomings and keep moving forward toward positive situations in your life. Forgiveness is a great spiritual practice. Surrender to trust. Trust yourself and your decisions. Again, just a confirmation and affirmation that right now during this season, it's incredibly important for us to be building our trust with ourselves. Don't be swayed by other people's strong opinions about what to do. Take action and be confident that you have chosen the right path. And again, this is just kind of coming back to us honoring our inner knowing and trusting our inner knowing, trusting ourselves. Even if it can feel risky, even if it isn't, what other people are doing or what other people are telling us to do or expecting from us to do or to be, surrender to trust and honor your inner knowing. We also got surrender stress. Take a few deep breaths and exhale the tension you've built up in your body. Let the stress go as you come back to your center. So as I was mentioning earlier, right here it's saying, take deep breaths, exhale the tension you've built up in your body. So like I mentioned, exercise and breath work can be a form of exercise. And that can be a way in which we are practicing energetic hygiene, what I was talking about earlier, because we are allowing the energy, the stagnancy, the blockages, the density that may be taking up space within us and in our energetic field to kind of be circulated and released. So taking deep breaths, y'all, don't underestimate the power of that. We also got surrender to what is, right? Surrendering to just how life is unfolding for you in this present moment. Surrender to it, honor it, flow with what is instead of fighting it, right? Surrender, don't resist. When you can't change a situation, compassionately accepting it exactly as it is will bring you peace. And so this is the peacekeeper energy, right? This is deciding that my peace is my priority. And instead of resisting how life is unfolding for me right now, I am going to surrender to how all is unfolding for me. And I'm not going to resist, because I understand that resisting is only going to inflict more suffering upon myself and my life and my path, and that is not what I desire, right? Peace is my priority. I am choosing to be the peacekeeper, and I'm not allowing any external circumstance or situation or influence to disturb that peace within me, disturb me from being the peacekeeper. So surrender to what is, y'all. Surrender to however life it is, however life is unfolding for you. And sometimes, we can think that surrendering equates to giving up, right? But surrendering simply equates to not resisting. There is a very significant difference there. What are our affirmations for this upcoming week? What are our affirmations for this upcoming week? What are upcoming affirmations? Or what are affirmations for this upcoming week? What are affirmations for this upcoming week? What are affirmations for this upcoming week? One more? Is there one more? Okay. All right. We've got, I trust the process of life. I feel like this is the main affirmation for us. There is a rhythm and flow to life, and I am a part of it. Life supports me and brings to me only good and positive experiences. I choose to trust the process of life to bring me to my highest good. So this theme of us just trusting how life is divinely unfolding for us and honoring our inner knowing along the way, I feel like is just the main overall message for us for this upcoming week under this Pisces new moon, as we are experiencing the energy of completions and coming into a new lunar cycle, energetic cycle, trusting our divine journey, path, life, and making sure that we are honoring our inner knowing and understanding what our inner knowing is, and strengthening our trust in ourselves, and trusting the process of life. the people in my life are really mirrors of me. This affords me the opportunity to grow and change. My life is a mirror. I have the perfect living space. I see myself living in a wonderful place. It fulfills all my needs and desires. It is in a beautiful location and at a price I can afford. So I feel like this is just a beautiful affirmation for us to set an intention for and to affirm, especially for those of you who are feeling like you want to manifest kind of like a new home environment, a new home feel. Set that intention under the Pisces New Moon and get very specific on what your home feels, looks, smells, sounds, tastes like. I have the perfect living space. Beautiful affirmation. Home is very, very, very important, as it is, where we come to rest, where we come to nourish ourselves. So may our homes be nourishing and peaceful and restful and hydrating and rejuvenating. That's what we all deserve. I thank you all so much for being here, and I'm wishing us an absolutely divine, grounding, peaceful week ahead, and look forward to the Pisces New Moon journaling prompts that I'll be dropping soon. Thank you all so much for being here and for investing your time and energy into getting to know yourselves even deeper, and just kind of exploring, these kind of different avenues that, you resonate with at this time and season of your life. So honored to receive and relay these messages to you again. See you in my next video. Bye.